Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be going over some Digimon anime and video game news. So video game being Survive news and anime being Ghost Game. So Digimon Survive, this was kind of announced a little bit ago, but I realised I haven't actually mentioned it in any of the videos. I think I might have brushed over on the podcast. But Digimon Survive has a confirmed release date, which is the 28th of July in Japan, and worldwide it's going to be able to be bought but on the 29th of July. So it's the day after the Japanese release date, but still super exciting considering I've had this on pre-order since like 2018, so I finally get to play it. So I've got at least one video coming out about Digimon Survive before the release, so stay tuned for that, and I will hopefully be doing some more Survive related videos in the future. So it's super exciting. It's like we finally get this release date for something that has been fairly highly anticipated by the Digimon community, and it's pretty cool that we actually are getting it. Next, for the Digimon anime news, so I've got the synopses for episodes 25 through to 28, as well as the episode titles. And we also know, and this is now confirmed, that this week's episode, so that's the 8th of May, which is tomorrow, will be no Digimon episode, but it'll be a special episode called A Strange World as Told by Naoto Takenaka. So we sort of got a preview for this at the end of episode 24, and it seems to be like a live action segment with what I would presume to be clips from the anime from what we've seen so far. So kind of just like a clip show as narrated by this narrator. So that could be pretty fun, but I'm not going to be doing a podcast for it. I don't think we're going to be getting any new information for it. I'm not even sure if Crunchyroll will be simulcasting this or not. I'm not sure. I guess they left in the preview, so I would assume so. But it looks to be just like a clip show, and it's not numbered, and it's not counted as episode 25. So no podcast for it. I'm not even sure if I'll do a little review video like I usually do. So this is kind of in its stead. So anyway, as for the synopses for these upcoming episodes, and this is all these episode listings are translated and available on With the Will. I'll leave it in the description and in the comments just in case you wanted to see it, but that's the source for this video as always with these synopsis videos. So first up we have episode 25, which is airing on May 15th. It's called Crimson Banquet, and the synopsis says, using crimson as its image colour, the comprehensive brand SEVU has rapidly gained popularity for its accessories, clothing, sweets, and so on. However, the CEO of the company, a man named Kyogoku Aviel, is actually a vampiric Digimon named Vamdemon. SEVU was the blood-sucking tower home base of Vamdemons, with the purpose of gathering beautiful women influencers to suck their blood and manipulate them through his bats. Ruri, invited to see SEVU's headquarters as a popular influencer, discovers this fact. While Ruri evades having her blood sucked, so that's horrifying, she manages to escape to the roof. Hiro and the gang enter SEVU's headquarters to save Ruri when they are attacked by Vamdemon. So this seems super scary, and it's nice that we're getting like a Ruri episode, and I guess spoilers for the next episode, it's episode 26, also sounds to be very Ruri related, so maybe we're going to be getting more character development for Ruri, so we get her evolution episode at some point, though I have read through these beforehand and I can't really think that any of these actually pique my interest as being evolution episodes, but they do sound good, so that one sounds very scary. It's nice to see Vamdemon back. I can't remember the last time we actually saw Vamdemon, so it's super cool. I know we've seen Neo Vamdemon and Vamdemon-alike Digimon, but we haven't seen Vamdemon since, I don't know. After this video, I'm probably gonna think, oh no, we literally had Vamdemon like very recently, but I'm just glad we're getting him. I love Vamdemon. I also would love to see his disguise of like, is he wearing a disguise like how we had Arukenimon wearing the disguise, or Velezmon wearing the disguise, or if it's just going to be Vamdemon hanging out looking really suspicious, because, you know, he's like a humanoid Digimon, so he can kind of get away with just kind of being in existence, like Wizarmon, just kind of existing without needing a disguise. And I do have a video coming out that I recorded like a month ago about Digimon and their disguises. So that video will come out before this episode, which is really good timing because otherwise, if he's got some super cool design, I would be missing out on it. But anyway, that episode sounds super scary, sounds super dangerous, but also it's kind of what Dandenong was doing in Adventure, where he was literally being a vampire and sucking the blood of women. So I feel like that episode's going to be quite creepy, how he's preying on women. That's very creepy. Anyway, so episode 26, Hungry House, which is coming out on May 22nd, says, one day Angoramon reunites with Digitamamon, who was his best friend in the digital world. Really love that. Really love how, like, they have friends and they have their own lives besides being the partner Digimon of the main characters. Love that. Digitamamon tells him that he lives alone in an empty house. Angoramon immediately brings Ruri with him to visit. At first, the conversation is friendly, but Digitamon's behaviour gradually turns strange. Meanwhile, Hiro and the gang learn of an eerie rumour about the vacant house where Digitamon lives. This one sounds really creepy, especially with the episode title of Hungry House. It just sends shivers down my spine. It's really creepy. Like, is it the house that we got from... I think it was the Puppetmon episode in the original Adventure, how it's like a semi-sentient being. Also, I'm reminded of, in the intro animation for Ghost Game, there is a house that changes forms. And I kind of joked at the very start of the show, it's going to be Puppetmon's house, but I'm wondering if this is the house, and it's like, it's a living house, like a living haunted house, possessed house thing going on. Sounds super cool, very much looking forward to that. Next we have episode 27, which is coming out on May 29th, and that's called Essence of Beauty. And the synopsis says, while looking up urban legends on the internet, Hiro comes upon a post called by Water. So I'm getting a very Cthulhu vibe straight away from this. It is said that the sound of water dripping is heard, as though beckoning a person, and people who have been called by water several times have disappeared without a trace. This event gradually grows more frequent until Najima, the caretaker of Hiro's dormitory, is called by water. Hiro and Gamamon, who are there when it happens, see Splashmon turn Najima into a ball of water. They chase after Splashmon, who can move freely through the water supply in order to save Najima. And that's when the synopsis ends. So I'm wondering if they'll have Splashmon be the weird-looking tiger Digimon, or they'll have him being the human form, or both. They had the human form and the weird tiger form in Cross Wars. They had just the tiger form in Adventure Colon, and I wonder which form he'll like. I'm guessing like the tiger form, because there's no real reason for him to be the human form if he's not like disguised as a human. Also mention that in the upcoming human disguises video, look forward to it. But anyway, I don't know why, I'm just more interested in seeing like what form Splashmon takes. Like, is he going to be the weird tiger or is he going to be the human? Not sure. But it's nice we get another named character. I'm wondering if it'll go the same way as Daigo in the Bird episode, and where he just didn't get a name in the actual episode. He only just got the name in the episode listing, which was weird. But anyway, this episode sounds pretty cool. I still get a Cthulhu vibe, even if Called by Water is not referring to Cthulhu, it's referring to Splashmon. I'm wondering if it'll be another, like, Splashmon wasn't really the bad guy, like in the camping and forest episode, where it wasn't Morishellmon, he was being the good guy, it was actually Cherrymon, that kind of deal. And if, like, Splashmon's, like, protecting the humans from Dagomon, there we are, got it out eventually, or something similar. It's probably just going to be very simple. Splashmon's a bad guy. Let's do the fight. Sort of simple way of going about it. And then the last episode that we have for the synopses comes out on June 5th, which is a day before my 29th birthday. So yay, I'm almost 30. And so episode 28 is called Face Snatcher, which just sounds completely unpleasant. So let's read on. So the synopsis says, Hiro and the gang, concerned for their classmate Kotaru Nomura, who is the kind of like the guy who's just Hiro's friend, hits on nurses and stuff, and kind of gets caught up a lot, but isn't quite caught up man from Atmon. But anyway, he's been holed up in his dorm for several days. They go to check on him, and they find him languishing in darkness in his room, wearing a mask that covers his face from the nose up. The bottom half beneath the mask was a featureless face. This is horrifying, the synopsis. And it's actually a Surumon, a grotesque-looking Digimon, who was attacking people and taking their faces. Horrifying. Anyway, taking the faces. A Surumon wears the faces it steals like a mask in order to taste human emotion. Its evil actions escalate, and as its victims grow weaker and weaker, Ruri and Kyoshiro also fall prey. So, out of all of them, I feel like this might be a hero evolution episode because Ruri and Kyoshiro fall prey to the Mon of the Week. So that would be probably the best time for Hero to have an evolution episode, which I guess it seems like it's a good time for it. Like, episode 25 seems Ruri focused, episode 26 seems Ruri focused, or at least Angoramon focused. Episode 27 seems like it could just be Hero, but also the rest of them. Episode 28 feels like this would be a good evolution episode if we have episode 27 being like an introduction to them evolving to perfect or what have you, or doing some growth. So episode 28 could be a good evolution episode for them. But in general, these episodes all sound incredibly creepy. I think the least creepy one is episode 27, and that's really saying something, because that is also creepy, being called by water. Being called by anything is kind of scary. So, I'm wondering if they're going to be also doing like a call of the mermaids, who would call, like the siren call that would call the sailors, and they would and lead them to their death. I'm wondering if they're also doing that for episode 27. But in general, these 4 episodes, super duper creepy sounding, just horrifying. I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm loving the brand of horror that Ghost Game is bringing. It is like, it's the perfect mix of horror and Digimon. Any more horror and it'd be probably too much, but it's a good amount of horror. And I say that on the podcast every week, that it's always just like at the perfect level of horror that you would want it to be, where you're not going to be like, scared, like being all scared and walking down the halls, not wanting to be in the dark, turning on every single light that you can on the way to bed, and then hiding under the covers. You're not going to be doing that. It's still like, it's creepy, but it's not horrifying. Like, you're not going to have trouble sleeping after it. And these episodes seem like they continue on with that trend of being scary, but not quite scary enough that it would like just ruin your day. So those are the episode synopses for the upcoming episodes. It's a shame this week doesn't really have any episode coming out. It's more like a special. I'm not sure if this special was always planned. Atmon had a clip show special in episode 26, but it was actually numbered. So I'm not sure if this was something that was always planned, or if it's just because of the hacking that they need to kind of give themselves a little bit more time to get more of a buffer, to maybe get more episodes back. We're not sure. So it could have just been always planned. I'm not sure, but it is what it is, and it's probably going to be great because I'm really enjoying Ghost Game, and the narrator has such a great and creepy voice. We get him at the end of each episode, giving us just like this very threatening description of the next episode, like kind of a little bit sassy. So looking forward to that, but again, probably not enough for me to cover it on a podcast or in a video. So, but there's this episode, so you do get to have me, so you don't have to worry too much. But anyway, those were the upcoming episode titles and a bit of news regarding Survive. I do have a video scripted out that I do want to release at some point before Survive. I do have it put in the release schedule calendar, so you can go check that out. It's on the website if you are so inclined. But in any case, those are the upcoming synopses for these episodes. As I said, the source will be linked in the description and in the comments on YouTube, so check that out. And what episode out of these are you looking forward to the most? I'm looking forward to, like, I know the Vamdemon's one sounds good. I like Vamdemon, so I'm going to say the Vamdemon one, but they all sound fairly interesting. But yeah, let me know what episode you're looking forward to the most in the comments. what your expectations are for Survive or what your expectations are for this week's episode. Like this video because it'll make me happy. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already, because that'll also make me happy. And yes, of course, as always, I'll see you on the next video. Bye!